Welcome back to another episode of All Star AD on the Educational AD podcast. We'll be right back with today's All Star, but first we want to give a shout out to our podcast partners, the global community of women in high school sports, We Coach, and the Florida Coaches Coalition. Check out these three great organizations. And now please stay with us for a quick word from our podcast sponsors. We want to say thanks to Hometown Ticketing for their support of the podcast. Go to hometownticketing.com. They're going to show you how to set up and sell your tickets online for things like athletic events and school dances, school plays, concerts, even graduation. They'll show you how to scan the attendees that come to your games and collect your revenue. And every step of the way, you'll have a dedicated client success manager that's providing hands-on support. That's every step of the way. Go to hometownticketing.com right now. Hometown Ticketing, simple and easy online ticketing. We also want to say thanks to Snap Mobile. Snap Mobile has several different platforms that can help you as an athletic director do your job better. Their fundraising platform is Snap Raise, and we've used it with great success, and they've helped schools just like yours raise over $700 million. They even have a program where you can get your funding before you start your fundraiser. I don't think anybody else offers that. Go to snapraise.com right now and check out their entire suite of platforms. That's snapraise.com. We also want to thank Gipper. Go to gipper.com and see how athletic directors are creating world-class marketing content for their school's social media channels. Tell them you heard about it on the podcast and use our code ADPOD10 and you'll get 10% off. Start creating custom branded content for your school's social media channel. That's gipper.com. We also want to say thanks to Wall of Fame by Vital Signs. They're on a mission to bring your school's legacy to life. Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com and check out their interactive touchscreen video consoles, along with all the templates they have that can be custom fitted for your school. They're on a mission to bring your school's legacy to life. That's vitalsignswalloffame.com. We also want to say thanks to Huddle. Go to huddle.com and change the way you see the game. Huddle is going to provide you with the tools that will help your teams, your coaches, and your athletes play at the highest level. It's a complete professional grade solution for the challenges that you face. At Huddle, we believe in sports and teams believe in Huddle. Join the 6 million users and turn your school into a Huddle school. We also want to thank Sideline Interactive indoor scoring tables and video boards. One of the best purchases I ever made was our Sideline Interactive score table. We use it for home games, but we also use it for pep rallies, for signing ceremonies. Their products are tremendously versatile, and the customer service is just outstanding. Go to sidelineinteractive.com and check out their tables and their video boards today. That's sidelineinteractive.com. We also want to say thanks to Final Forms, the industry leader in forms and registration. Final Forms can help your stakeholders, your coaches, and you by providing reminders to parents, helping coaches with attendance, and helping you as an AD with all the reports that come across your desk. You know, it's time that you talk to someone who gets it. To take the next steps, go to finalforms.com/Jake. That's finalforms.com/Jake to get started with Final Forms. And we want to say thanks to Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. Athletic surveys are a quick, easy, and affordable way for you to collect comprehensive data that allows you to evaluate and improve your entire program. Athletic directors typically only hear from that 2% that want to complain, and we need to hear from them so we can improve our program. But you also need to hear from the 98% that really love your program. And that's a tremendously valuable tool to have when you're talking with your principal, your school board, or that squeaky wheel parent. Go to athleticsurveys.com and see how they can help you get started. If you've never surveyed your athletes or your parents, you're really missing out. Go to Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack and let them help you take your athletic program from good to great. Welcome back, everyone, to another segment of All-Star AD. We've got a very good friend today, Megan Ziegelhofer. Megan is the director of athletics at Mount Dora Christian Academy here in Florida. Does a great job with the program. I've been able to witness it as a visiting athletic director, as a varsity basketball referee, and as a track official at some championship events. She always does a great job. So, Megan, we appreciate you joining with us today on All Star AD. And I'm going to ask, what do you have for our listeners?
Thank you for having me. So the first topic I would like to talk about is communication. It's mandatory, it's necessary, and it's something that I'm starting to see a lot more of since COVID. It's just the weekly communications between schools. And to me, it's something that I spend a lot of time on each week, making sure that when people come to our campus, they know exactly what to do, where to go, that they don't have any questions. I always send a campus map and, the directions exactly to the facility and what each team needs to bring, what we will provide. And I really would like to, work on making that common practice between all ADs, because I would want the same thing when my people travel, that they know where to go and what to do and what to bring, and so that they're prepared. So something that I do each and every week, on Sunday nights, I sit down and I email out all of the schools, essentially like a protocol list of all of the things, where to park, the address of the facility, depending on what sport it is. We always provide ice and water, which I know some people don't have the opportunity to do that. But just letting the other schools know, hey, this is what we will do for you. This is what we need from you, so that people feel welcome and it's easy transition when they come to our school. So communication between athletic directors, between coaches, I try to get it to as many people as possible within that staff, just to make sure that somebody sees it, so that the parents know. We do online ticketing. So when they come, they have the opportunity to pre-purchase those tickets in advance, so that they don't have to wait at the gate. And it helps my people out as well. When the people are ready to go, when they get there, they already have their tickets purchased. And it's been a huge tool for me that I've seen a lot of success with. And I'm starting to see some of the ADs that I work with, and even some of the public school ADs, grasp onto that and are starting to do the same thing. So.
Yeah, again, the many ways that when people show up to our events, I think the common feeling for that parent, whether it's a casual parent or a dedicated parent, they just go, wow, all this happens by magic. The teams show up and the officials are there and the concession stands going, and there's so many steps in that game process where poor communication or no communication can really throw a wrench into things. And again, sometimes, despite our best efforts as an athletic director, maybe we'll call them a member of our team, didn't hold up their end of communication. Can you share maybe a moment that might have happened? Of course, we don't want to identify that person, but where, something should have been communicated, but it wasn't, and now you had to scramble and do crisis control. Anything come to mind?
I do see that a lot, especially when hosting big events like track and things like that. We deal with, we got nothing from our school, and then parents show up, and, thankfully we this year implemented the touch payments at the gates. Therefore, when somebody comes and they have not pre-purchased a ticket, because we use an app, they don't sit there and have to download the app anymore. We can take any type of tap payment, credit card, debit card right there at the gate. So that has made it a lot easier and a lot less stressful for the people working the gates. But before we had the ability to do that last year, it was sometimes a very negative situation when people would show up and they wouldn't be prepared because their schools did not share the information that we had shared with them. So then, people are apprehensive about working gates and things like that, especially at track where you're dealing with thousands of people, and, they're getting screamed at and yelled at and sometimes talked to inappropriately. And so I've seen that happen, a lot. I even kind of follow up after I send the initial email and just say, hey, just want to make sure that you reminder that track meets tomorrow. Make sure you send that information out to your parents. But having those tap payment devices at the gates have made it a lot easier. So it's not as crucial if they don't send the information, but still a lot of people come prepared.
Oh no, absolutely, and online ticketing is great, and as you said, I think the schools are beginning to embrace it. Probably the minority now that don't do online ticketing, but that raises other supporting issues. You have to have a device, and you're dealing with multi generations here. Current students, the parents, their parents, grandparents. And you got to have Wi-Fi. Well, what's your Wi-Fi password? And so all sorts of things out there. And again, I was just out of your school as an official. So you've got the Wi-Fi password, the guest password posted there. And again, your crew always does a great job. Megan, if one of our listeners wanted to reach out and pick your brain just a little bit more on this topic or anything else related to being an AD, what's the best way they can get a hold of you?
So my direct link to my email is on our website, which is mdcacademy.org. And my email address is megan.ziegelhofer@mdcaacademy.org. So email is usually the best way to reach out to me, but my number is posted just about anywhere. So I'd be more than happy to talk to anybody who reached out and wanted any information on. I actually, from the last time I did an interview on here, had several ADs reach out to me and say, hey, do you have a template for that, what you send out? And I've shared it several times. So it's pretty neat to get that out there and help other people so that they're feeling confident about when they communicate with people as well.
We appreciate you sharing, all those AD secrets. What's the website for Mount Dora Christian Academy?
It's www.mdcacademy.org.
Okay. Well, again, thanks for spending time with us today on All-Star AD, and all the best for the rest of the 2023 season.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
For our listeners, we do this every week, and we upload the Zoom recordings to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel. Thanks for listening. Come back just about every day for new content on the Educational AD Podcast. We'll see you next time. Once again, we appreciate listening to this segment of All-Star AD. We do want to encourage you to check out our sponsors. We have 8 sponsors. They are all great products. I've used every single one, and you should too. We want to thank Hometown Ticketing. Go to hometownticketing.com and find out how to start selling your tickets online. We want to thank Snap Mobile, and particularly Snap Raise, their fundraising platform, but they've got a lot of other platforms that can help you as an AD. Go to onsnap.com or snapraise.com for more information. We want to say thanks to Gipper. Create world-class marketing content for your school's social media channel. That's Gipper.com. Tell them you heard about it on our podcast, and you'll get 10% off. If you're looking for a really cool way to display your school records, go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. They are going to help you bring your school's legacy to life. That's vitalsignswalloffame.com. Huddle.com can help your coaches, your athletes, and you as an athletic director. Go to huddle.com and turn your school into a huddle school. We also want to say thanks to Sideline Interactive. You've heard me say before, one of the best purchases I ever made was a Sideline Interactive indoor scoring table. Go to sidelineinteractive.com and get started today. I want to say thank you to Final Forms, the industry leader in forms and registration. Final Forms can help your stakeholders, they can help your coaches, and they can help you as an athletic director do your job better. Go to finalforms.com/Jake to take those next steps. And we want to say thanks to Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. Now, if you're not using a survey to take the pulse of your student athletes or your parents, you're really missing out. Go to athleticsurveys.com and get started today. Once again, thanks again for listening. We'll see you next time on All-Star AD on the Educational AD Podcast.